All right, all right, all right. Here we are. My Facebook would not go live, so therefore I have to improvise. So, you that are live on Facebook, please let me know if you can hear me. If you cannot hear me, let me know because I am live on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, go over there. If you follow me on Instagram, go over there because hey, stay on, little bud. 24. Hey, I finally caught a live. Maybe it's because I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. We can stay a long time tonight because the sorry tell NBA finals do not come on until tomorrow. So let's go ahead and just jump right on in it. All right. So the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics are playing for the NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics are up 2-0. Did you hear what I said? The Boston Celtics are up 2-0. Now, I don't know what's going on, but this man right here needs to be brought to the carpet. All right, we need to put a pin in how horrible Kyrie Irving is playing in this series and the series prior. He was not doing well. He wasn't doing well either. I don't understand for the life of me why he is playing this way. Um, but we need a series. I'm glad my prize picks have been protected and all of those things, but Dallas Mavericks. A quote from The Color Purple. You sitting at the head of the dinner table and you acting like the waiter. Y'all need to get it together. Y'all making the Boston Celtics look like Team USA Olympic 1992 that was led by Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird. This is crazy. Y'all need to get y'all head in the game tomorrow. Do you hear what I said? You need to get your head in the game tomorrow. All right. Next, we have speaking of the Olympics, okay? We're gonna segue into Cailtyn Clark. Her fans believe that she has been snubbed out of being a part of the female team 2024 that is going to Paris for the Olympics. Now, I will say this. First of all, if you feel like Cailtyn has been snubbed, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like she has not been snubbed, put a 2 in the chat. I want to know that right quick. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And Facebook, I'm so sorry. You guys cannot see any visuals because I don't know what's going on with I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. But we're gonna keep it moving. I don't see any answers. If you feel like Cailtyn Clark has been snubbed, put a 1 in the chat. If you do not feel like has been snubbed, put a 2 in the chat. I see Jermaine has put a 2 in the chat. And I see Little Bud 24 has put a 2 in the chat. Now, if we're talking about playing per se, for sure, Clark is nowhere near the caliber of players that the caliber of player that is represented on our Olympic team. She is not. Now, we ain't gonna act like she is God's gift to basketball. But what I can say, when we're talking about social media, when we're talking about putting the WNBA on the map, all these things that come into play, I can say that the WNBA is being stupid right now. because they need the publicity. You're going to tell me that teams, the Washington Mystics, this was an away game. The Washington Mystics averaged like 4,000, 5,000 people at their games. The Indiana Fever came to their arena where they had to get a bigger arena, and it was 19,000 people in the seat. Cailtyn Clark is getting more viewership than the NBA Finals. So even if she was just riding the bench, y'all, she should I for the sake of the WNBA, she should have been put on that plane, went to Paris. Even if she didn't play, let her be a mascot or something. Put her on whatever. Because I'm telling you, I don't know. I feel like that the tide has risen. Mel said, I see your point. The tide has risen and they not riding the wave. They keep falling down, they keep crashing. Every time it rises up, they always push it back down. So my thing is, you got to ride this wave. People are watching because of this whole class, of course. But we cannot say, okay, it's because of Cailtyn Clark. We can't. I mean, she don't have to play. Let me show you this team. With or without Cailtyn Clark, they gonna win anyway. They got Aja Wilson, Sabrina, Brittany Griner. She could have took her place. Diana Taurasi, she done been there 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Nafisa Collier, I don't know who she is, but I think she can play. Jackie Young, Brianna Stewart, Kelsey Plum. The Aces have 1, 2, 3 people on this team. The Liberty have 2. So I'm just saying, they could have just brought her along for publicity purposes only. But Cailtyn, she looked like she needs some rest. Cailtyn need to go. She need to take this time and regroup because she's getting beat up, like for real. But I don't want to talk about her too much longer. All right. So those of you that are watching me on Instagram and YouTube, I thank you. If you are on Facebook, all you're gonna hear is audio because I can't. Yeah, Tarasi is still playing, and she's going to. This is gonna be her 6th medal if she wins. She need to sit home. But anyway, so I think I need to, when I play these videos so that y'all can hear, because I'm gonna talk about the man that put the mic inside the shofar right now, and I'm gonna talk about the Rod Parsley business meeting. And I want to get y'all opinion on that. Okay. So will you like and share? If you're on Instagram, like and share. If you're on Facebook, like and share because this is unusual for us. I got to find out what is going on with StreamYard again. I am so sorry that this is happening. I've never had this to happen before, but it's happening. So we got to push through it. All right. So what was I about to say? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna have to play this outside of what I have going on. I'm gonna have to play this outside of my MacBook Air speakers so that y'all can hear. So the first thing that I'm gonna talk about is the man that put a mic inside the shofar. Okay. We're gonna talk about that. This happened, and the reason why I wasn't gonna talk about this because when I first saw it, I didn't know where this was taking place. I was watching it. It came across my live stream, just like it probably came across your live feed as well. And when I saw it, I was like, "What is happening?" But when I looked down at the lower thirds, I saw Archbishop Bernard Jordan and his wife, Pastor Deborah Jordan, and I love them so much. So I was like, maybe I ain't gonna talk about it. But then again, I thought about it. I said, they probably didn't even know this man was about to do this. So let me cover it anyway. So I think it was a shock to everybody that was there. So we're gonna listen to it, and those that are looking on Instagram and YouTube, you're going to hear it. Okay. So let me present it. Let me change my speakers so that y'all can hear. Mhm.
While he's making his way up, I just want all the prophets in the house to stand on your feet. Just going to blow the sound of the shofar as our bishop makes his way to the top. C sharp chord over there, please. After I blow the shofar, I need you to give God another shofar with the sound of your anatomical voice, saith the Lord. Do, 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 do.
Bruh, let's hear that again.
Trapped by any denomination.
First of all,
Then you will prophesy the mind of God beyond your
forward,
2024. But God said you will.
forward,
One shall be stronger.
forward.
As far as our bishop makes his way to the top. C sharp chord over there, please. After I blow the shofar, I need you to give God another shofar with the sound of your anatomical voice, saith the Lord. Do, 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 do.
All right. All right, y'all. Tin, 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 tin. What in the world? Okay, so first of all, I have so many questions. Okay. First of all, I have so many questions. Did they rehearse this? Number one, because the man knew to put the mic in the way that he did. Number two, I'm too childish to hold a straight face like that. I would have had to been escorted off the premises. Do you hear what I'm saying? I would have been no more good. Do you hear me? T. Brunson said, maybe I don't know how that's supposed to sound. So do y'all remember a couple of years back, Dr. Juanita Bottom II, she tried to blow the shofar. Okay? We owe her an apology. We owe Dr. Bynum an apology because we laughed at her for a whole year straight, trying to put that shofar in action. And she almost fainted. You hear what I said? But had she used her amatonically voice, like the man said, I know for a fact Juanita Bynum would have been able to do that. Juanita Bynum got some strong lungs. She would have been able to do that. And first of all, You said C sharp, C major, whatever you said, and you was up under the note. You asked for the note and you went on it. So I don't understand. So this is a prime example of what I said. Everything don't need to be live streamed. Okay. You take, first of all, it was 6 hours long. You take bits and pieces of the service that you want the audience to see. You make reels, you make money off of it. But because when you give people a mic, they act like a fool. When you give people a mic, you don't know what they gonna do. If you give people a platform that ain't used to being in front of a lot of people, they gonna show out. And this is a prime example. This is a prime example of let me have my moments, and you up here, ping, 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 ping. Oh, I couldn't believe it. So, Juanita Bynum, we owe you an apology. And Bishop Jordan, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. I love you. I know you did not know that was going to happen. So, therefore, we have to cover it because it was funny. But we love you and hope you having a great birthday. One more thing, my guest is in the back. So one more thing I need to cover, and then we're gonna go ahead and start. Hi, Tiffany. She looks so pretty in the background. We gotta talk about my man. All right, Rod Parsley. Now, y'all, this is the Rod Parsley I know. I grew up listening to Rod Parsley. Okay. I used to say that man can preach. Now, y'all that say didn't used to say you didn't used to say that, you lying. This was a white man that we thought was black. Am I lying? No, I ain't. I'm gonna answer my own question. Am I lying? No, I ain't lying. This man, I used to watch him walk on pews, laying hands, people falling out. I used to just thought, whatever. But now, this is what he looked like. This is Pastor Rod Parsley today. Look at him. Silverback. That's what he looked like. Now, he had a business meeting. We're going to listen to some of it. We ain't going to listen to all of it. I'm just going to give my 2 cents, and then we're going to move on to the most important part of the service, and that is talking to my guest, Tiffani Palmer. Okay? Listen. Y'all not going to like what I got to say. I already know it. So we just going to roll with the punches. But let's listen to it, and then we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna listen to a little bit of it because it's very long. It's like 4 minutes long. We ain't listened to that. Okay. All right. I got to maneuver stuff. This is really crazy, StreamYard. Why y'all doing this to me? All right. But I got everything in place.
You didn't.
Right, I didn't call the meeting, but I was in the meeting. I'm sorry.
Here's not we.
Okay.
I know who called the meeting because I told them to.
Yes.
Because I knew you wouldn't. And you didn't.
But we're ready for baptism.
No, you're not.
I think. Well,
no, you're not.
Well, let me walk it through.
It'll take me 10 minutes to prove to you you're not.
Okay, then. Whatever you say, sir.
Are you being smug with me?
No, I'm not. I'm saying whatever you
Don't.
I'm not being smug. No, I'm not.
Don't.
I'm not.
One more person grins at me, one more person smirks at me in this room, it will be the last one of you that does it. The money that is being spent in this room is obscene for what I'm getting. Obscene. I hired people to run entire sections of this place, not hold their hand through a baptism. Much less what I just went through. Are you ever going to learn not to backtalk me? Because it's been a year and you still haven't learned. You didn't call me. Did you?
No, I did not.
Right. But you just said you did.
No, I said I was in the meeting.
No, that you said that the third time. No, because everybody, not everybody, constantly wants to argue with you.
I don't want to argue.
All right. Okay, let's talk about it. Oh, that's my deviant laugh because let me tell y'all something. I am let me tell you my background if you don't know. I am retired military, okay? So my lens concerning this meeting. Now this is a meeting. This is not a church service. I need you to put this in perspective. This is a meeting. This is, and Tiffani probably can talk about this when she come on. This is a meeting. This is a CEO, not pastor. This is a CEO giving his concerns and his gripes to people that he paid, he said, obscene amount of money that are underperforming. Now let's take all this other stuff out of it. This is a white man, he talking to a black man, and he shouldn't be talking to somebody like that, and all this kind of stuff like this. Okay, if money wasn't involved, I would say, you know what, show you right. But money is involved, and you behind the scenes of a church is a business. And if I can't turn my back, and he said a water baptism, it took them it's been 12 months he's trying to teach them how to do a baptism, and they don't got it yet. Pastor Rod, you can hire me. I am Baptist. I know how to baptize. Okay? But my listen to me. You can't take any of that out of there. What are you saying? All right. So my thing is, first of all, who's recording? That's number one. This is a business meeting. You are recording. You're distorting your voice. Okay. Obviously, people were making faces. I don't know about you, but when people make faces at me, it gets me a little hot. I'm just saying. Like I said, I'm retired military. I've been talked to worse than that. And guess what? At the end of the day, I fixed it. It was no recording. It was no, because one thing I'll say, if you don't like something, you need to leave. Why are you still there? If you don't want to be under Pastor Rod Parsley and the way that he talks to you and the way that he does this, then leave that man money on the table and you go somewhere else. That's how I feel. Now, if this was a church service and these are you're in front of the congregation, business and church service to me are two different things. And on that note, I'm gonna bring Tiffani on and see what she got to say about that. Hi, Tiffani. What you think? Can't hear you. Hold on. Let me go ahead. Unmute your mic.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. Honestly, it's just one of those things. I totally agree with you. I think that sometimes, and this kind of goes into my career, my profession, because a lot of times, when you are working with people like Pastor Rod Parsley, I think this kind of goes above and beyond. It's just Rod Parsley. When you're working with people of that status, you just got to have tough skin. Now, if somebody's like disrespecting you directly, like, you dummy, you should have did da 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 da. Okay, then I'd be like, nah, because who you talking to? But to me, I just kind of looked at it as you weren't doing your job. And so what am I paying you for? You know what I mean? And so it's not meant for everybody to work for people of that status, and hence the reason we're here. So I mean, I'm gonna get into that, and it could probably shed a little bit more light to people on exactly what it is that I do and how it's done.
Right.
In terms of like I said, just working with people of that status, because it's a testing job, okay?
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure you can attest to that because you've been on one with me before.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's a
Exactly.
testing job, and I mean, it can be rewarding. I mean, while you can make a lot of money, you can fly private. I mean, there's so many different aspects and facets to this job. But the most important part and the most important piece to me is being able to have tough skin and knowing the difference between when you're being disrespected and when you just ain't on your job, and you have to eat that, because nobody wants to pay you. Because see, here's what happens is, a lot of times as business owners and entrepreneurs that are working for people of this status, we go in with this mindset, this is my fee, this is what I'm going to charge. And this is a lot of the reason why I've been how I've been in my business, is because a lot of times I don't want to overcharge and underserve them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And so, but when you coming in and you're asking to be paid at all, I mean, you got to deliver,
Right.
because these people, believe it or not, a lot of them are codependent upon you to do what they need you to do. They don't
Right.
want to think. They need you to think. And so if you can't deliver, you're not going to make it.
I agree. I totally agree. And you guys, we're about to dive in a conversation. I just want to say one more thing. He kept saying obscene amount of money. So it's about you performing, or it's like I can hear the frustration in his voice. Like, this is not the first meeting that they've had. Yeah.
Absolutely. And nobody's going to keep telling you, because in this industry, Elisa, you have to really, you got to have a mind of your, like, this business, it's not somebody telling you what to do. That's why I tell
Mhm.
people all the time, well, I don't work for anybody. I work for me. Because
Mm.
in working with these celebrities and managing their everyday life, you can't have nobody standing over you every 5 minutes telling you what to do. You need to go with them with the solution. And if you
Right.
don't go with them with the solution, that's what you're going to get. Church, secular, all industries.
All right. We're about to have the conversation with Tiffani Palmer. She is a celebrity assistant, but up here she says she's an executive talent agent. That's a that I like that. That's
It's a
cool.
fancy way of saying personal assistant.
it's
You know why I
it's
changed that?
fancy.
I
What?
changed that because a lot of times, and it took a lot of people to kind of just talk to me and say, Tiffani, you're not an assistant. You're more than that, because personal assistant just kind of sounds like the help. So you want to just kind of create you a role like I created this one.
Mhm.
A lot of people are saying they can't see or hear
I got to
us.
change it like this. Hold on.
Okay.
Because okay, let me apologize. We ain't said nothing that was we haven't started the conversation yet, but we did say a lot of stuff. But my Facebook is is not connected to StreamYard, so I had to go live on my phone. So
Okay.
you should be able to hear now. But tell me, can you hear me?
I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you fine.
Okay, great. All right, all right, all right. So again, let me clap up. All right, Tiffani Palmer. She is an executive talent agent. She's going to be telling us about what she does. She said no question is off limits, so I thank you for that. But I ain't gonna say nothing that's too crazy. All right, so first of all, tell us who you are, because there are a lot of people on here that do not know. Tell us who you are and where you're from, and how did you land into the field that you're in right now.
Yeah, so I am Tiffani Palmer. People back home know me as Corinda from way back in the day. If you call me that, you really know me.
Know you as what
Um,
now?
Corinda. If you don't know me as that, because when y'all was hanging around Will a lot, I was just driving him and I didn't really get the chance to hang around y'all for y'all to know that part of me. So,
But I kind of remember that name though.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Cause y'all, so me and Lisa, y'all, we never really hung out, but we had my best friend was close to her, so that's kind of how we. Shout out to Will, because I know he's watching. But anyway, from North Carolina, I grew up in a little city called Johnsonville, where I grew up AME Zion, so I'm definitely a church girl. Just a short story. I was very, very, very active in my church. I was everything from choir director. I started out playing drums. Ain't that something? That's probably how you remember
What?
me, 'cause I used to play the drums.
I played the drums too.
You gotta
Look
ask
at
Larry
us.
about that. Larry will tell you, I used to play the drums. That was my instrument. Like, that's what everybody knew me from North Carolina from, was playing the drums. And so I was playing the drums. I worked in the church. I was a choir director. I was the assistant minister of music. I've been in one church my whole entire life. Shout out to my pastor grandmother, Dr. Maddie Ruth Walden, who is now deceased. I was raised in there. My mom is in ministry, preacher. Pretty much whole family is in ministry. Everybody in my family preach. Crazy. But I grew up, under a very, very strict household. Shout out to my mom for being that way, because it pretty much got me to where I am today. I wasn't raised with my biological mother, but my biological mother and my mother that raised me were first cousins. So I literally grew up with my real family. Like, I wasn't adopted or, just in a foster home. I literally grew up with my actual family. Came from a great home. My parents were, good people. We were pretty much middle class, had everything we wanted pretty much. And so I kind of knew that North Carolina, and you can kind of attest to this, was not really the area that I felt like I was called to, because I feel like everybody is called to a certain region for a certain time, for a certain situation, for a specific reason. I knew that I was not called to that region. And I knew that because, I worked in the church. I gave my all to God. I was very faithful in my church, never asked them for a dime. I did it because I just wanted to do it, because it was in my heart to do. I knew that God would take me far because of my dedication to him, into my church, into my ministry. I was my pastor's armor bearer. So I literally have served my entire life. And I knew that God was going to take me far in my serving, because I just wanted to serve. I just really wanted to serve. And so stayed in North Carolina. I had moved to Atlanta 3 times and it didn't work. I failed each time because I just wanted to get away from home so bad, to start a life that I knew nothing about. And then being under my mom's auspices for so many years, I was just like under my mama all the time. Like, it was just, my mama was just, it was just my mama all the time. And I love my mama, but it just wasn't, I don't know. I just felt like I wasn't supposed to be in my mom's house. So I kept going, leaving, coming back. And I did it until it worked. And so the very last time that I came to Atlanta, I have been here now for 7 years. I'm not going to say that everything has been amazing and perfect and great or whatever, but it's been rewarding. And I know that God has been with me. Hence the reason why I've been here and been able to sustain. Because this is a hard region to live in and maintain it.
Yes, it is. Let me tell you.
It's a hard.
Atlanta will swallow you up.
Listen, swallow you up, baby. Because, and I be hearing people like, I'm moving to Atlanta. I'm like, don't come here unless you have a plan. Because if you come here and you don't have what you want to do already together, baby, you will fall. And I'm not being negative. I'm just telling you, don't make the same mistakes I made. Like, be ready. Have a job. Know what you're going to do. Know what your connections are. And so anyway, fast forward to that. The very last time I came to Atlanta, a lot of people ask me how I get in my industry. How can I apply? It's nothing you can apply for. A lot of people say, hey, it's all about who you know. That's true. Right. And fortunately, and I always go back to Lucinda Moore. She has been like, Lucinda Moore was literally the first person that got me into the industry. I saw Lucinda. I had known Lucinda for like many years. I saw
Lucinda is solid.
I love Lucinda. I had known Lucinda for many years, and one day we were at Teresa Hairston's what was that thing she used to do back in the day? Gospel Heritage, right? And they were having this big, huge after party mingle type thing. Everybody was in there. Marvin Sapp, Richard Smallwood, Kurt Franklin, Ty Tribbett. Everybody in the gospel industry that you could ever think of was in that room. And I was just standing outside looking in like, dang, I really want to go into that room. Like, I want to meet these people. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I just knew I wanted to be around those people. So crazy enough, Lucinda walks up. And I'm like, hey, Aunt Lucinda. And she was like, come on. And she took me into the room with all these like famous gospel people, like Hezekiah Walker. I mean, everybody was in there. And she just left me. And so I just started mingling with people. And today, I can call Marvin Sapp. I can call Ty Tribbett. Lucinda will call me sometimes like, hey, girl, you remember Marvin number? Because I lost it. She'll call me for contacts now that she can't remember or that she lost. So I always tell her and Biddy Newborn how very special they are to me, because they allowed me to be in spaces that normal people wouldn't be able to be in, because I know that they saw something in me that was different. And so to be able to call up a lot of these gospel artists and they're my friends now, it's mind blowing, because it's like, dang, like I used to look at these people on TV and I love these people, and now they're personal friends of mine. So that was the start of me working in the industry.
Wow. So when did it switch to like the secular? And can you name some of the people that you assist now?
So like I said, gospel for me was kind of like, you know, just running into some of those people and just kind of doing stuff on a whim, just because, you know, carrying their boxes and setting their CDs up at their product table and just little stupid stuff, you know what I'm saying, that you can get paid for, but you just want to be seen. So anyway, so it just started.
Can't be no stupider than, let me stop. We're going to talk about that experience. I got to talk about it. Cause I have PTSD.
Baby, when I tell you, cause
we're gonna talk about it.
Okay, we're gonna talk about it.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so what ended up happening was
Octavia said, remember NDAs. Remember your NDAs.
Yes. But I'm not gonna go into no NDA breaking type.
No, I'm not even gonna ask it.
Obviously, I would never do. But thanks, Tay. Tay is one of my girls. She's been there for me through everything, and she's definitely not gonna let me sit on here. She'll tell me, "Hey, shut up." That's Octavia.
She'll call you.
She's my brain when I'm not thinking about things sometimes. But anyway, so I ended up moving to Atlanta, and that was kind of the start of it. And what was crazy about it, I didn't know that I knew so many people that knew so many people. And so what I mean by that is, so I would look on TV and I say, dang, like, I really would like to work with T.I. and Tiny. I really would like, you know, I would just start calling out people that I want to work with. So my cousin, Womack, bless his heart, he is T.I. and Tiny's bodyguard. So came to Atlanta, I sat down, I said, you know, I really want to work with T.I. and Tiny. Okay. So we were just sitting at Starbucks one day, and he had called Reginae, and he had called Zanique, and, you know, all kinds of people, because he was really just ready to put me on.
Right.
And then one day, I mean 6 to 8 months had went by, and I didn't hear anything from him. He didn't have any information. He didn't have no updates. It was just like, he called me one day and he said, because Womack he's not a sentimental person. He don't cuss. He's not disrespectful. He just emotionless sometimes. So he calls me and he goes, yo, Tamika need an assistant. And I was like, Tamika is Tiny. And I'm like, I said, well, don't she already got? He said, don't ask no question. Do you want to do it or not?
Right.
I was like, well, yeah. He was like, all right, meet me at this address tomorrow. So I go to the address. I meet him at the address. It's Tiny's condo.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked. We got to know each other. The literal next day, I started working with T.I. and Tiny.
Wow. Listen, let me tell y'all something. That is how things work. It may not work like that anywhere else, but I know that's how things work in Atlanta.
Right, exactly. Right.
If you know somebody that knows somebody, I just met somebody I was teaching with, and just so happened I just said something about, I said we was talking about something. Then I just said, well, what do you think about the Diddy whatever thing? He was like, it's funny you said that. He said, because I'm in the industry and I used to work for Diddy. And I said, what? I'm telling you, you don't know who you're gonna come across. He was a teacher like me, but he said he quit. He still do stuff on the side, but he was like, yeah, but I'm not out here just talking about him and stuff like that. But it is true.
Yeah, because I mean, Atlanta is so
It's small,
it's small, but I was getting to the point that Atlanta is so it's so click based.
right?
And in Atlanta, like if you're not in a certain circle or a certain clique, you ain't never getting in the entertainment industry. Because
Wow.
you can't just see a celebrity and say, oh, I would love to work with Drew Sidora from
Yeah.
It will never happen. I don't care if you see them. And let me not say that, because God can do anything for anybody, but it's likely to not happen, because you can see these people in the mall. I mean, I have done it before. I've seen people that I don't know anybody that's connected to and given them my business card and never got a call. Right. But it's because of who you're connected to. So if your cousin is my security guard, I can trust you to work with me.
Right.
Otherwise, you ain't getting in my circle.
Right. They wanted to
not
stay
doing
within. Yep.
You
I
won't
get
do
that.
it. You won't do
I
it.
get that. Wow. So T.I. and Tiny was first. Then who else?
So the next person that I worked with was Lisa Nicole Cloud from Married to Medicine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't follow Married to Medicine, but they're pretty huge here.
Oh no, Married to Medicine is just amazing. And then after that, I worked with a little bit under the mainstream. I worked with Palmer Williams from Tyler Perry.
Okay.
Lisa Wu, Rick Ross.
Let's pause on Rick Ross now. We gotta talk about Rick Ross. Rick Ross, come to the table.
Lisa,
let me tell my testimony.
Go ahead.
Tell it. Now, like Tiffani said, she and I, we are just learning each other. And she would tell you, I am very busy, just like her. And I'm probably the type friend she probably want, because I'm not talking to you every day. That's just not gonna happen. So she was like, you could come to Rick Ross every year, host a pool party. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to go to a pool party. And so Tiffani was so sweet. So you come on, you can I said, you know what? I'm gonna come, but I want to work behind the scenes. I want to work. That's what I said. That's what I thought. I said, I want to work. I want to see the behind the scenes and everything. I want to see what I want to do. I don't want to be out there, because I ain't gonna dress up no way, because I'm from church. I ain't gonna look right, and I ain't gonna feel right in no bikini.
Girl,
so let me just work.
Girl.
If work ain't what we did,
baby, let me tell you, and let me put an interjection right there. My hairstylist is watching. Chaz is gonna kill me, because I tried to do a half up, half down ponytail. Girl, one thing I am not good at hair.
By your name, so
yeah, girl, that's my hairstylist, Chasman. But anyway, okay, so y'all, I just didn't want to go by myself, really, and that was my first pool party that I did with him. So I was like, girl, you want to go? I can get you in. She got the good old VIP band and everything. So I'm like, yeah, Lisa coming with me, baby.
When I tell you, I'm not a mumbler and a complainer,
baby.
But I wanted to I just want that when y'all told me to go pick up Drew Sidora,
Girl,
I was like, this my chance.
girl,
This my getaway.
Lisa, please tell them what them people. Now, again, y'all, this was before I became an executive production assistant for the car show, so I have a team under me now. But girl, tell them what we was doing at the pool.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what happened. So this is so funny. So me and Tiffany, we were like the hardest working ones there. I think we was blowing up. It was blowing up floats. You know how big Rick Ross pool is. So them floats, you had about I don't know how many was it, like 50.
Like 50.
It was a lot. And the kicker was so that day wasn't that bad.
Girl.
I was there 2 days. So the morning that I had to come back, that was the doozy. That was the nail in the coffin. Tiffany and I unwrapped all the plastic on the sofas. And to unwrap it, you had to pick up the sofa.
Yeah.
I am not exaggerating.
At all.
Me and Tiffany. Because
and
the other guy,
mind you, these sofas were not light.
No, they were heavy. I was sweating. I had on a nice little skirt. By the end of the day, by the end of that session of what we did, I was ready to go.
Baby, let me tell y'all something. And rest in peace to Shamako's dad, because he actually, unfortunately, he passed away.
Yeah.
On that day. But Lisa came and she said, I got an emergency. So first of all, I'm like, girl, you ain't got no emergency. You just don't want to work.
Why would I lie about that, Tiffany?
No.
But I was so happy.
Wait, this was before you said that how they had found Mako dad. I was like, this girl. She was like, they just found Mako dad. I was like,
I knew you was talking about me behind my back.
No, I didn't think you was lying. I was just like, Mako Larry friend, child. Lisa ain't really got to leave and go see about but I know how.
Mako is my brother.
Yeah. I said, this chick done left me here.
I sure did.
But to our point, to both of our point.
But hold on, to my defense though, this is the reason why I left. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
That woman that was in charge, I ain't gonna say her name. When I left because of Rick Ross' sister asked me to go pick up the lady. She asked me to go pick up. I was doing what I was asked to do. But when I got there, somebody had already picked her up. So that
thing had rubbed Lisa and Vic's spirit all.
I was so mad. So when I got back, you don't know what she said to me. She said,
"Oh, the
lady." She said, "I'm trying to say her name. I'm trying not to say because I don't know if she wants her name to be out there."
D lady.
The D lady, yes.
Okay.
She said to me, "You got to remember who hired you." That's what she said to me. I said, "Oh, you don't know who I am."
I tried to tell her, girl. She didn't listen to me. I tried to tell her who you were. I guess she
said, honey, I don't got to be here. Is you crazy?
It was almost like, because you need the money. So I was like,
I didn't even want the money. Did I not tell you I didn't want to be paid? I just wanted to come.
Girl.
I was so over it. But that right there. So when you asked me to go to the car show, you was like, it's going to be different. I was like, I don't know.
It was different, Lisa, because I had a team under me this time. So I didn't even have to do all of that.
But I had to work anyway, so it didn't work out. But anyway. Yeah. But Rick Ross, as a person, he seemed like he's cool. I mean,
Ross is a nice guy. I mean, Ross is nice. And he is very down to earth. I mean, a lot of people always ask me, like, how is it working with Rick Ross and how is it working for Rick Ross? And it's like, I mean, it's not really a thing, because to me, Lisa, working with these people is like me sitting here talking to you, which means that if Ross comes out, like at the car show, like last Saturday, Ross was like right here to me. And it's just like, oh yeah, that's Ross. Like it's not like, oh my God. You know what I mean?
So do they make y'all like family? when you become a part of their team?
You are family because they literally trust you to be around them. They trust you to be in their space. Like a lot of, like, you're never going to be able to walk up to a celebrity and be like, "Hey child, like, what you doing this weekend? Let me get your phone number." Like, it don't work like that.
Right.
You have to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And so once you're in that circle, you don't have to worry about like anything else. Like I was just telling somebody the other day, I can literally go into I can go to the Grammys right now and get in because I've already built that rapport where people actually know my face, and it's not a bragging right or nothing like that, because I worked hard and I slaved for this.
Don't dim your light. Yes, it is. We all can't do that. Girl, please. I am over. You know what I'm over? I am over that mindset of, I did that. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I can walk in the ground. You can say that. I can walk in. I can't say that. Not yet, but I'm gonna be able to. I believe that.
You will. But I mean, like I said, it comes with the territory. Like, I mean, like now at Ross's car, like 2 Chainz came in, and I was like, Chainz, how you gonna roll up in here? I mean, you start knowing people, they start knowing you. So it's not like me and Chainz gonna go hang out at the bar tomorrow. But it's like if he ever saw me out somewhere, I'm gonna always have access, is what I'm saying.
Right. And something I like about the Atlanta Stars, they are not. I think they are. They're like real. They're not stuck up. Now I've seen a lot of stars. They are really down to earth. Like when
they ain't gonna hang out with you now. They ain't gonna give you the phone number. They ain't gonna go far.
But I don't want that no way.
Yeah, yeah.
But Rashida, when I went to her store, she was so sweet. And she is so short. Most of the people that you see on Love Hip Hop Atlanta, they short. They're all little.
Very short.
This little. But okay, so we talked about all the good stuff. Is there anything that you had to overcome being a female in this industry? Because they like to take advantage of females and stuff like that. Is there anything that you had to overcome?
The only kind of thing that I had to kind of like overcome in terms of like getting work and being able to work in the industry is like I said, the jobs of people that I did not have access to. And that was hard because funny story, it goes back to this is going back to the gospel side. So there was this guy and he was a manager for a very high gospel artist. Okay. I had went to the Celebration of Gospel one year. I was backstage. And I'm talking to this guy, this big recording artist. I was talking to his manager, right? And I'm asking his manager, like, what can I do? And I'm just trying to get like, some kind of mentorship, or just kind of tell me like, what is it that I can do to kind of just, get into the industry? How can I break into this thing? And he says, you're not. And I said, why do you say that? He was like, because he basically just said, I don't have what it takes. Right. And I was like, well, dude, I don't want your job. I just wanted you to tell me like, what tips do you have for me? You know what I'm saying? That would make me be stand out more with people, so I can, introduce myself as what I am and what I do. And again, he replies, you're not.
Wow.
So it kind of when you're not connected in certain circles, it's very challenging as females. And this is not like a gay bash or nothing, but a lot of our LGBTQIA, our managers and personal assistants, are already in those roles. And so they really, they're not trying to help you. They're not trying to mentor you. And that was very challenging for me in certain situations, because there were certain arenas that I wanted to work in, and there were certain celebrities I wanted to work for. And it wasn't going to happen because that the gatekeepers of that industry was, they just weren't going to let me in.
Wow.
When it gets down to those Atlanta housewives and some of those other arenas and cliques, it's already inundated with LGBTQI, which I have no problem with. but they're not going to help you do nothing. I'm just being straight up honest with you. And so, just circling back around to the conversation that I had with the gospel artist in Celebration of Gospel, this guy calls me now to try to get his clients right.
Wow. Do you like sometimes when people circle back that have like kind of snubbed you a little bit? Do you like don't answer their text like immediately? You just look at it, or do you just go ahead and help them?
I answer immediately because I don't have time to play those, you know what I'm saying? Oh, since you did me wrong, I'm gonna do you wrong, because I still feel like the way that I wanted it, somebody else wants it. And if they need it, I'm gonna give it to you, but you're gonna pay for it. So I answer immediately.
Ah,
Yeah.
got it. You gonna pay for it.
Yeah. I don't give you information for free.
So you don't give information for free. That's what's up.
And I had to start doing that. That was like a recent thing, because I mean, people just like starting to hit me up like out of nowhere during car show time, and you know what I'm saying. People, or they always hit me up like some people when they inbox me or they text me and they're like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" I just be like, "Hey, what you need?" Because I already know they check, because they never text me to just check on me and say, "Are you good? How's your mental?" Because this job is mentally taxing. Let me explain. It's mentally taxing, because when you have to manage the lives of important people and celebrities, and the one thing that goes wrong falls back on your head, it's mentally taxing. And I wish people would understand that more than calling me, "Hey, you got this number? Hey, can you connect me to this celebrity? Can you connect me?" I would love to do that, but now it's just not the time to ask me, because I'm inundated with everybody's schedule that I don't even have time for mine. And right now, I don't have the mental capacity to try to connect you to nothing. I just don't have it. But people don't understand that. It's a very demanding job.
So so what I'm hearing you say is like it's a really isolated job.
It is.
And so how do you keep your mental when it comes to you when you get home at night and you're like, you know what, I really nobody don't really check on me. How do you get through that?
Girl, I just started drinking. I ain't even gonna lie. Sorry,
Ah,
Mom. But
what?
it was just because, no, let me tell you though.
Wait, so when you started drinking, because you ain't what
Girl,
you drinking, Bel Air?
That's just how life been life, and girl. Yeah, I've been killing Bel Air. And you know that Bel Air champagne, baby. That Bel Air champagne is grown people
when
stuff.
we first met, which is what's not long ago,
I know
you were not drinking.
I know, girl. I know, girl. But it's stressful, Elise. It's stressful to run their life, to run my life, to it's stressful. Sometimes I just want to scream when I need something. Some of these celebrities don't come through. It's a lot. It's a lot, you know.
Let's talk about that, because
I lie for these people. I help these people. I cover for them when they hoes about to burn the house down. Ooh. It's a lot. It's a lot.
You said something that like we got to put a pin in this, because your livelihood depends on if they come through.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you got, I know on the gospel side, you ain't got to tell me, they don't come through.
Right.
They don't come through, and then you're left with all of this stuff that you do up front, and then you're left with the bill. And I know that's how it happens sometimes, because you're a good person, and I can see you saying, "Oh, I got it, I do it."
I do it all the time, baby.
And then at the end of the day, they don't got you, and then I be drinking too, girl.
I do it all the time. Like I do it, and you know what? I had to go to counseling for it, at least, because it got so bad. And so I sat down on the couch and I just busted out crying. And my counselor was like, "Hey, tell me how you feel. Like, what's wrong? Like, let me get into your inner soul." And I'm like, "I'm just tired of this shit." Because I have nobody to say that to. Like, I have nobody to just. And my counselor's like, "Do you know what you're suffering from?" I'm like, "No, what am I suffering from?" She was like, "You're suffering from what we call passive personality disorder." And I'm like, "What is that?" She was like, "You are passive. You allow people to run over you. You're so nice." And I'm sitting there listening to her tell me stuff. And I'm like,
wait a minute. Pause. Everybody need to share right now. We are talking really good tonight. Y'all need to share and like. Tiffani, you talking good. Keep going. Because
And
you
so
go
I'm
ahead.
just like crying because I'm like, wow, this lady is just like prophesying to me right now, right? This lady
Mhm.
don't even know she's a Buddhist, you know. I'm like, she's prophesying to me right now, right?
Mhm.
And so she's like, yeah, she was like, you know, you do stuff for people and you just don't care. Like you just even whenever your heart is angry because you don't want to do it, something inside of you says still do it. Don't speak your mind. Don't say no. She said, you
Mm.
don't know how to say no. She said, do you know what not knowing how to say no will do to you? She said, it will drive you nuts. And
Yeah.
that's what's happening to you right now. And I was like, wow, this lady really knows what's going on with me right now. And I haven't even really said much. And she was like, and Tiffani, you can't go on with your life like that. You got to learn how to tell people no. Because there are times where, like, I had this one celebrity, if I said his name, everybody would know. I have this one celebrity who will call me at like midnight and be like, hey, Tiffani, I need some wings. And I'm looking at my phone like, I'm just going off on, and I'll be like, yeah, sure. So I just sprint out of bed and run down the hour to where he lives at and take him and his lady that he's laying in bed beside wings.
Mm, mm, mm.
And I would get paid, but it was still the stress because everybody on this live that knows me, my sisters, my friends, they know my bedtime is 9:00. I'm snoring, but I'm jumping up at midnight to go run down an hour to freaking wherever he lives at to go give him wings because
Wow.
I don't want to say no. You know why? Because I fear that if I say no, I'm going to lose something. And that is what the problem lied in. And
Mm,
again,
mm,
I
mm.
had great parents. My parents were amazing. My parents were amazing. But what I will say about my parents is that a lot of times people can only love you to the level of what they've experienced. I
Right.
don't believe my parents really experienced the kind of love that needed to be given, and that's not their fault. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times people don't know how to break generational curses and say, look, my parents didn't love me, but babe, I'm not going to do that to you because
Right.
I feel like you need. And a lot of times it wasn't even that. The strictness that my mom had on me caused fear. And
Mm-hmm.
this is nothing to my mom, because if my mother was never strict on me, I really don't know where I would be right now. But
Right.
because she was so strict, it caused me to be fearful. And that
Mm.
became a part of my passive personality disorder because I'm scared of everything, even to say no, even when that thing hurts or inconveniences me.
Somebody asked the question why they couldn't DoorDash that, but then they answered the question, said, "I guess they can't let random people know where they live."
Yeah, no, I don't really care. I mean, I don't, and you know what? Let me tell y'all what happened. So this thing happened again a month ago. Text me at midnight. Hey, Tiffani, I want some wings.
Mm-hmm.
I said, get it yourself, and hung up. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be fired tomorrow. I'm going to be fired right now. But I didn't. You know what? He called me back and said, Tiffani, I respect that. Because
Exactly. What?
you could have easily just darted out of bed. He said, but I respect you saying no. And I DoorDashed my wings.
Wow. So all this time, all you had to do was say no.
Was just say no. And I think sometimes people don't really understand the value of who you are. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if they intentionally do things to try to just upset you or try to get a
Mm-hmm.
rise out of you or something. And some people
Right.
just don't. They just know. Like a lot of these celebrities are children in their mind, so they don't even really know how to DoorDash. So,
Exactly.
but anyway, I don't think they do things to devalue you. A lot of times, I just think that sometimes because of your yes, it causes them to use your yes against you sometimes.
And also, I've learned being around some millionaires as well. I've learned that some of them have been rich for so long that they don't even they're not in touch with reality. They're not in touch with time. They're not when I say they don't be on time for nothing, it's because they know no time.
Let me put a pin there. So I had this conversation with somebody the other day. So I have this client, and every time we gotta go somewhere, he'll call me, Tiffani, I need you to be at my house at 6:30 in the morning. Now everybody that knows me knows I'm a be on time. I'm not a late
Right.
person. I don't do late. If I tell you I'm gonna be somewhere at a certain time, I'm gonna be there. But girl, every time I show up at this man's house on time, we don't leave to 10 o'clock. That's a problem.
That
That's
is
a
a
problem.
problem.
Because what that says to me is you don't give a darn about
Right.
what I have to do in my time.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, like you said, it goes back to what you're saying. Celebrities, they don't have a conscience of
They
other
don't.
people's time and
They
what
don't.
people have to do. And when you find an idiot like me that'll just be like, yeah, sure. But in my head, I'm like, I don't want to do this. But because of my passive personality disorder, I can't say that. But I'm fuming inside. And guess what that does? It builds up stress.
Yeah.
And now you're having personal and physical issues. You're having headaches every day and your
Come
body's
on,
aching.
Tiffany.
And then don't try to be in a relationship with a stressful person on top of all of that. That will just kill you, And so it's just
I want to ask you about that. Put a pin in that. So how is it having? Are you able to have a life outside of your job? Because it seems like you give a lot of hours to your work. So are you able to do that? Have you ever found the time to do that, or are you just been focused on your career right now?
If I had a friend,
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I believe that it would cause a lot of friction in the relationship. I sort of feel like I hear a lot of people say this, and I don't necessarily agree with it, because I feel like when you don't have boundaries, because boundaries goes beyond just not crossing a line with the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people have to have boundaries. Like, you got to have a partner that understands your career. That's true. So if I'm dating a pastor and it's our wedding anniversary and he's got to fly to Las Vegas to go preach, am I going to get pissed off about it? Or am I going to say, hey, babe, let's just walk the strip and enjoy our anniversary together because I'm on assignment with you and your ministry is important to me as well. Blah, 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 blah. So yes, you have to have compromise. But at the same time, if you're going to shortchange the person because you choose, and that's the thing. I answer my own question. You have to choose what's important to you.
Right.
Not necessarily because your job requires it. Because a lot of things that I do, it's not required. It's what I choose to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not careful, you can lose a relationship by not choosing to give your partner that time, because if I go do this job, I'm gonna get paid for it. Well, when does money ever become more important than the person you say you love? And so you have to have those kind of boundaries. It's not about a person. If they want to be with you, they gotta. No, actually, that's not all the way true.
Right.
You have to make a choice on what's important. And if that man really loves you, he'll say something to you like, babe, you ain't even got to go to work. I'll pay you for what you would have made for today. Let's just spend time together. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the type of partner that you have. And about the values that you see in that person enough to just set it aside. I had friends that ain't even dating me. Like, girl, you ain't never got time to go get a drink or nothing. And I'm like, girl, I be working so much. And then I have to stop myself and say, yeah, but how well do you value your friend? Because people make time for what they want. You make time for the job that you create, because I create my jobs. You make time for the jobs that you create, but you can't make times for the people that care about you, that are going to be there for your mental. That's a problem.
It is. Come on.
And I've been guilty of that.
You are speaking facts. Come on now, you were ready tonight.
Girl, I be like this all the time, child. And I just be flowing and I don't even know what I just said, but I said it.
Listen, that's that church in us. She's speaking to y'all tonight. Listen, learn how to say no. This passive personalities, we need to put it aside. And like you said, you was afraid that you would lose something. But once you gave us a scenario, once you stood up, it was okay anyway, because they know that you are valuable and they don't want to lose you. So you've already stamped yourself into what you have going on. So man, this is good. This is amazing.
And so
go ahead.
When I started to just kind of start saying no, and I still have a problem saying no, Lisa. I do. Like, I still have a problem now when people ask me to do stuff. I want to be like, I don't feel like doing that. But I'll be like, yeah, that's fine. I'll do it. And I'm driving down the road like at 90 miles an hour, like this stupid. I don't know why he asking me to do this stupid crap because I don't want to do it in the first place. And then my little other person on the shoulder is like, well, why you do it, dummy? Because you just stressing yourself out more by doing something. Why would anyone in their right, stable mind go do something that they really don't want to do?
Right.
But I can't tell you why. It's just whatever that passive personality disorder I have, it won't let me speak up for myself.
Mm-hmm. So are you going, the therapist, she's going to give you like proper tools to come against this? I ain't gonna say come against sound like a demon, but is she gonna give you is she gonna give you the proper tools to like get the balance is what I'm trying to say.
No, the only balance is no. That's the only
so
balance.
that's the only balance.
Yeah, that's the only
So
balance.
there's
Just
no
say no.
talking down, there's no talking up, it's just flat out no.
No, I'm not doing it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all, that's in our vocabulary this week. No. I say it already now. I used to be passive too. I used to be
I remember.
very passive, but not no more.
Because Will was like, Lisa's so nice. Oh God, Lisa's just so nice. She just say yeah to everything.
No, man, listen, let me put a pin in that. Okay, so on the outward, in front of the people, I was nice.
Oh, when you was first lady.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Behind closed doors, I spoke my mind.
Yeah.
So but people really didn't see that part of me, but they get to see that part of me now on my own podcast. I do think for myself, and I do, whatever. Thank you, Jermaine. A lot of people, somebody said you need to be on somebody's summit. I got some more stuff here. I can't even. I hate that we had to go live a different type of way. I got to figure out what's going on with StreamYard. It wouldn't let Facebook go live. I don't know why. I got to figure that out.
Can the people see it?
Yeah, they can see. I'm on my phone, but when I put it up as reels and stuff like that, it's gonna look like what we see, not what they see. So I'm gonna take that down and put up the real thing. Okay. But anyway, I got a question. This might be a messy question, but I got a question. So, dealing with gospel and dealing with secular, which one is messier?
Gospel. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say
I would not have thought.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm lying.
A lot of people have they have, I don't want to say, because he would hit that church that come against thing again. A lot of people have downplayed or downed or whatever you want to call it me for working with Miss Netta and Charles. And I'm like, okay, but
wait, you work for Charles. Your lunch is ready. You work for them?
I do.
That is it like interesting, or how is that? That seems like that would be interesting interacting with them.
They're amazing. They're amazing. And a lot
is it like real, or is it like for TV?
No, it's absolutely 1000%. They're married. It's real.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, if you would have ever been around them, you would say, oh yeah, they married. Yeah, this can't be fake, because no.
Oh, no. Wow.
But a lot of people down me because it's like, you working with two men and and I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, I am. You know why? Because they're authentically who they are, and they're not doing it in the name of Jesus. It's so many of y'all who are not authentically and who are authentically who you are, but you're doing it in the pulpit. You singing, you preaching, you on the praise team, you playing the drums, you're playing the piano. But these are people who don't proclaim the name of Jesus, who don't proclaim salvation, who don't proclaim any of that. We know homosexuality is biblically not right or whatever, but you can't tell me that working with two men that are married to each other when it's so much of that going on in the church in the name of Jesus. The only problem is they just living openly with it, and they should, because they're not proclaiming salvation.
Right.
They're not. So what's the big deal?
Mm, mm, mm. So you would
They're not.
say, so the gospel side is giving you flack about that.
Absolutely. And it's like,
Oh,
child,
God.
need I go down the list? But I'm gonna just leave it alone because it's like, don't even.
She said, "Need I go down the list?"
But I'm just, yeah, I'm just not. But I mean, I think we all know where I'm going with it. So yeah, that's where we're going with it. That's it, and that's all. So, and it's like all of the stuff that I see that goes on in the gospel industry. I'm like, y'all doing this, and y'all preaching, and y'all singing, and y'all prophesying, and y'all laying hands, and y'all playing the keyboard, and y'all doing this, and y'all doing that, and y'all fornicating, and y'all doing all of this in the name of Jesus, and then think y'all going to heaven anyhow. It ain't happening.
Capital F on fornicating.
Yeah, it ain't happening. At least Ned and Charles ain't walking around talking about how did I buy she we saved, and they not doing none of that. They doing exactly what they supposed to be doing, living for the devil because that's the choice that they made at this point. I mean, let's just keep it 100.
Right.
But you can't proclaim that you're living for the Lord and you out here doing the same thing. It be the gospel people that's messy, that's always in the middle of stuff, that always keep drama up on social media. They always arguing about something. Niggas in the secular industry is gonna be like, nigga, what? Meet me in the street. We gonna do this with our hands, or we gonna do this with a gun, and it's gonna be done. Church people, y'all proclaiming Jesus, and it's something all the time. I don't understand that.
Right.
It's something all the time.
I think we're froze, but they can hear us still. I'm
Okay.
having all types of technical
Oh,
difficulties
there you go.
tonight. No, it's froze on this. I mean, it's coming, but it's froze on my side. But anyway, let me see. It's good on. It's good on. Hold on for a minute. Don't go
Oh,
nowhere, okay? I gotta do
okay.
something. Hold on.
Okay. Guys, you guys have any questions or anything while I'm willing to take whatever questions you might have, because I can't really see who's on my thing. But if y'all have any question once Elisa comes back, we can go ahead and put them in the comments, and I'll answer uh, whatever questions. And y'all don't drop off. She's coming back. Just give us a minute to reboot and restart. How are y'all enjoying it? Y'all talk to me in the comments while she's away. Tell me how you guys are enjoying the live, and what have you learned today? How has it helped? How has it blessed or whatever? Sorry about that, guys. We're coming. Don't drop off because we still got some more stuff to talk about. I think y'all gonna want to hear some of this stuff we talk about. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Pam. Hey, Alden. Dr. Weems, how are you? Apostle Rashida, Apostle Cox, Bishop Hyman, how are you? Well, you know we part of the church because all the bishops and apostles. Okay, guys, hang in there. We're coming back. I think Elisa's trying to get some stuff fixed, and I think she's coming back in right now.
Okay, I'm here.
Awesome.
Y'all, I'm sorry. We having a lot of technical difficulties. The devil don't want this message out. but I'm gonna cut it up in such a way they ain't gonna see none of this.
He always
This
attack me with his old.
I don't know, cause you talking right. You hear me? You talking right. All right, so I want everybody to at this time put in the chat what have you learned on tonight. I saw Brunson say learn to say no because she needs to learn how to say no because she's passive. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna call you after this. Um Put in the chat what you have learned so that I can put it out for everybody else. Namia said how, or is that Namaya? Said how can we follow you? Namia
Um,
Lee.
you can follow me on social media outlets, which is Facebook. That's the first one. And Facebook is gonna be Tiffani Palmer. That's Tiffani. I'm gonna try to put it in the chat too. Pa Palmer. And then on Instagram, you can follow me. Y'all give me because I'm not really one of those social media people. And they always tell me that. They're like, you need to be more physical and your presence need to be shown on social media because you're a star. I'm like, I don't care about
Yeah,
that.
if you talking like this, Tiffany, like not every day, but like how I set aside Tuesday once a week to just
Yeah.
sit down and talk to my audience. You have to do that because you have a lot to say. And we don't like I wouldn't just be telling you that just to be telling you that. Now I've interviewed some people and I'll be like, okay, thanks. But you have like in one session, you have said so much and it needs to be said over and over because people don't hear it everything at the first time, because we're talking and they're looking at our gestures and we're laughing, so they're missing stuff. So I
Yeah.
got a lot of stuff I need to clip up that people need to hear
Yeah.
in your segment because it was phenomenal. And you working with who you work with, is just who it is, but your personality and how you're able to articulate things and how you view things is totally, I can tell that you still have your base, you still have your root. And people like you, people like me, when those celebrities and stuff meet people like us, they're like, okay, something different about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something, I mean, she ain't like the other girls, and they're drawn to that. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
go ahead.
And I haven't, Lisa, and let me just kind of go off the script a little bit because I have to say a couple of things that I just want to make clear. Um, I have not. Well, let me just say this first. I'm gonna say this that leads up to that. Uh, so it goes back to my childhood was great. Let me just say that there were a lot of things that my parents did not teach me because they did not know how. And let me explain. I'm not saying they're stupid or anything. It's just that they did not know how to probably articulate those things to me. And so my mother would say things to me like, you better not get pregnant because if you get pregnant and you bring a baby, I ain't rocking no babies in this house. And if you get pregnant, you getting off the choir and you ain't playing the drums no more. And you ain't, those were things because that was how she could kind of tell me, but she never sat down and talked to me about the birds and the bees and, what happens when a man and a woman comes together. Like I didn't really know those things. Right. And so, I literally, not to like put my personal business out there, but it was a long time before I experienced even what intimacy was. I was like almost in my 30s because I didn't know. And
Wow.
so there were a lot of bad decisions that I made in terms of relationships. Even coming up through the ranks in church. You know what I'm saying? I never really felt like I was anybody because a lot of people never and it's not that you just want to be church famous, that's stupid, but you
Right.
still want to feel like you just want to feel like you're respected, and I kind of was because I was what they would consider high ranking in my church and my ministry and in our organization, but it was just that I was misguided on some things. And so I didn't know how to like I used to date a lot of pastors because I thought that's what I had to do. Like,
Mm.
I'm in church, so who else am I gonna date but pastors? Mama said don't have sex, so clearly we're not gonna do anything because you're a pastor, you know. And I was like, oh nope, that's not true.
Clearly not.
Right, that's not true. But anyway, you know, but I said that to say this. You know, it's just that sometimes you have to walk through life and you
Yeah.
have to let experience teach you. But my
Mhm.
parents taught me enough that the experience that I saw, I was able to consciously make wise decisions because of what I had been taught, even though I wasn't exactly taught what I needed to know. But my
Right.
experience that I was grounded in, you know, it taught, but I was severely wounded and scarred in
Mm.
relationships and in church. And I haven't stepped in a church in freaking God, I don't know, 4 years. And look, I had text Mark because I love Bishop Mark House. That's like one of my best friends. I love Mark. I told Mark, I said, I'm coming to church Sunday. I'm not running around that church. I'm not falling out. If you give me a word, you know what I'm saying, we
See,
good.
you A and me. I'm apostolic. I'm gonna run and I'm gonna
Oh,
shout.
nah, see, I ain't doing all that.
But I have a
But,
Baptist background. I do.
I mean, I was AME Zion, but I mean, I'm telling you, like, most of the people on here that know me can attest to the fact that our AME Zion church, we was apostolic. I mean, for a long time, you know, they told us, like, they told my pastor when we first got drums in the church, they didn't really, my pastor, she pastored our church for over 30 years. They told her, it was like, we really don't want y'all in this organization. She said, because y'all trying to turn this AME Zion church into a holiness church. And I'm
Ooh.
like, I mean, holiness is right. So what are you saying? So,
But I get what you're saying because I was sheltered too. I was brought up in the church. Now I would call it shelter. The first time I left being home was the first time that I heard preachers cuss. I didn't know that existed.
that part,
I didn't know preachers drank.
that part.
All of that. I was like, this was a culture shock.
That part. Because my
So
mama reared us like that. She was, you don't call no pastor after 9 o'clock at night.
right.
You always call them pastor, bishop, whatever their title is. You do not. My cousins, I don't know if they still on here, Jason, Kenny, but they were my cousins, and my mama wouldn't let me call my cousins. She was like, that's Reverend Swan to you. I'm like, girl, that's Kenny. That's my cut. She was like, Reverend Swan, because she didn't want us to lose that sense of respect for pastors, but unfortunately I did. And I just now I'm not church hurt, because I don't need, that's dumb.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
not
either.
church hurt. It's just that I'm over church because I know it so well.
Right.
And so I'm not able to retain being in the atmosphere because it irks me. Like, it irks me when people start shouting. It irks me because it's like, oh, y'all still
What?
just
You wouldn't
fake as
shout
hell.
with me if I went to
No,
Martin House
because
Church and I grabbed your hand and ran around the church. You wouldn't run around the church with me.
no, I would politely release
We
your hand
coming out together.
and let you go on in Jesus' name, and you can tell them about the goodness of the Lord, and you can run on and see what the end gonna be. But I'm just gonna watch you from back there because I ain't doing it.
You would not run around the church with me.
Absolutely
Yes,
not.
you would.
Absolutely not. But yeah, to my point, like I said, you know, I definitely thank God for, you know, my mother, being who she was to me and how she was with me. But I definitely think that it attributed to my fear of everything. But I do thank her for instilling that in me, because if it wasn't for my mother being that way though, Lisa, I really think I probably would have just been out here just being all over the place. Because if she would have allowed me, my mom used to tell me stuff like, because I love to go to these like different churches, because after my pastor got sick, my church just went down. Like there was no Holy Spirit there no more. It's not today. Sorry, y'all, but it's not. There was no Holy Spirit there no more. And so I would go to different churches to try to get that feel. Right. And my mama would be mad. She'd be like, no, you don't need to be going to all these different churches and bringing all these different spirits back to my house, because she knew what was out there. And so she tried to shield me from finding out those things that she just didn't want me to know about ministry, because she knew that, but she didn't want to tell me. So her protective way to protect me from the things I still kind of got into at times was just fear. To shield me from it, because that's all she knew how to do.
Wow. That sounds like my mama. I think they all they all knew. They just all knew, you know.
Girl, when you said I'm like, child, clearly pastors don't cuss.
Right.
Clearly they don't have
Right.
sex. So yeah, they do.
Let me tell you.
A lot of it.
A lot of it.
Seed planting and all.
And multiple. Female and male.
And male. They just oh yeah.
So I mean that listen, I have gotten over my Stella Award grudge that I had. Cause that year that I went to the Stella Awards, I was really I'm not gonna say I was hurt. I was disappointed because you are around all of these gospel people. The only person that I really fanned out on was Tremaine Hawkins. I fan out on Tremaine Hawkins anytime.
That's how I was with Vanessa Bell Armstrong. Girl.
Because I love Tremaine Hawkins.
Yeah.
Now, everybody else, I was like, okay, cool, you know, whatever. But they were so snobby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about these young artists, not these older ones. Mm-hmm. The young artist was so snooty, so snobby, like you had plague on your face. Like, what are you doing here? What you mean?
That's how they are.
And who are you?
That's how they are. Seriously. And so, I laugh when I see them at like the Grammys and stuff. I be waiting for Grammy and BET Awards because like if they happen to show up, you know, and it's just kind of like, you know, and I always joke with Ty Tribbett and I laugh at him because it's hilarious. So Ty had came to the Grammy Awards, I believe. And he was just talking about how he was sitting in the back and he just didn't feel like he was going to win. And I'm like, yeah, because you're nobody over there. Like, you're like, who actually knows you at the Grammys? Like, nobody knows you. Like, the way y'all treat people at the Stellars, that's how y'all get treated at the Grammy. I love it. Like, when they get treated like crap from the secular people, I absolutely adore it because they need to get it back.
Yeah. It's not necessary. That's what I think. The Stellar Awards should be a big old family reunion. That's what I feel. Yep. It should be a warming, welcoming event, but it was not. It was not. But I'm over it now. So whoever's over it, I'm ready to be on your red carpet. I don't know who none of the artists are. I have to do some homework, but I just want Lucinda to win. Even if I wasn't on the red carpet, I'm going for her. Yeah,
me too. I definitely want Lucinda to win. And I don't know, I don't know how far-fetched or if she even cares, but I would like to see Lillian win because Lillian Lloyd was one of my very first clients.
Yes,
she's still my client today. Yeah, she's still my client today. She has a song, actually. I don't know if Lillian is interested, and she may enter it into the ballot or however that works. I don't know. She may do that, but I hope she does because I want her to I think and she knows this. It's time for her to kind of matriculate and just kind of just be herself, man. Like she's got so much anointing and so much talent. It's amazing. And I think people hear One More Chance and they hear I got the victory and it's like, yeah. But Lillian has to start coming into her own as she has. And I think that she has to have the confidence to just go in there and get that thing because she can do it. But Lucinda, she's put in the work for so many years, and I feel like she's so underrated. Like I have literally seen people treat Lucinda like crap.
Yes,
we was at New Birth, and I'm not gonna call the person name. We was at New Birth, and it ain't Jamal. We was at New Birth, and there was a gospel artist there. Lucinda had to sing. There was a gospel artist there. He was kind of like running things that day. And they had told Lucinda like she had like so much time to sing her song. So she sung Total Praise, right? Mm-hmm. Killed it as always. And like the guy just kept shutting her down and like telling her she needed to cut her time. And I'm like, dude, you're nuts. Like this woman is up here. And so it was so bad that she ended up sitting down. But what was funny was John Francis was preaching that night. Mm-hmm. And after the person had made her sit down, John Francis called her back up and told her to finish singing total praise again because the anointing had came in so strong. But this person tried so hard to shut Lucinda down, and it made me so mad because I'm like, dude, you're a gospel artist. Sit down.
And first of all, Lucinda is in the category of one of the greats. What are you talking about?
Absolutely. That woman got a voice on her that a lot of people don't have.
Lit.
People
And
don't have that range no more. Lucinda has had range since I was a child, and it's
it ain't
stronger.
even about the range. It's about the sound
and the oil.
When I went to her live recording, I kid you not, and I told her this to her face. She was on Put a Pin in it, and she told her all. It was great. I said, Lucinda, I knew you could sing, but I didn't know you could sing like that. I mean, I'm talking oil, the sound, no cracks, no, and I'm talking about she in the rafters, just singing and enjoy what she does.
Yeah.
And Lucinda loves people.
She loves people.
And so, and she just she ain't stuck up. She ain't none of that.
Nope.
And I want her to win. If she don't win, I'm gonna turn it out.
It would be sad if she didn't win, but Lisa, I'm gonna tell you why it'll be sad if Lucinda don't win. It would be sad if Lucinda don't win because Lucinda has supported every gospel artist in the industry and everything that they have ever done. Any recording, she's flown herself there. She's done stuff to support every other artist in the industry, and they don't do the same for her. And it is sad.
And you know what? You're right. Because I was at her live recording. They weren't there. The only person was there that Tremaine Hawkins, but I'm pretty sure Tremaine got paid. So
Tremaine might have did it out because Lucinda used to sing with her. Yeah, she's.
I love Tremaine. I do, but I believe
you think she was getting that bad.
I don't think Lucinda would even not honor her that way. That's what I'm saying.
No, she would, but I also feel like Tremaine would have came out of love though, just because Lucinda has supported and went up and down the road for her. Like Lucinda, not like she don't even let me work for her without paying. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's like she, her and Lillian both. They both pay me, and I don't expect them to pay me the prices that I would charge secular people, obviously, but they do pay me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, I know that she would, if she needed to pay, she would have done that.
Yeah. But getting back to you though. So Tiffani, this was an amazing conversation. I want to thank you so much for being on. You said so much that we need to chew on that. We probably need to do a part 2 because it was a lot that was said and it need to be said again. And it need to be said when my platform is right and I got my mess together because StreamYard got me so jacked up, but we made it through.
We did.
We made it through. And I'm so glad that you were a yes. Whenever our times align, we really, 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 that's a combo, the difference in pay for secular and gospel.
What was that?
Okay, so somebody said that's the conversation, the difference in pay for secular and gospel. Oh, so your price, your pay scale, it's different from secular people are going to pay anyway, from what I've known. But sometimes they don't come through.
No, they almost actually never come through you. The way that you get secular people is you have to literally make them sign a contract and put them in it, because otherwise,
wait. Put a pin in it. You said they don't usually pay?
No. I can't tell you how many celebrities out there right now. Let me tell y'all this quick story and then I'm done. So I was working with this one celebrity. I can't say the name because Octavia would kill me. I was working with this one celebrity, right? But this was when I first started, and this was a major celebrity. I mean, they were literally just like one of the top celebrities in the world. And so they wanted to pay me $500 a week to be their assistant. Now, mind you, and I did it because I was still building my resume. But listen, so I had to be with this person all the time. Like Monday through Friday, I had to literally be with for 24/7. It was even so bad, Lisa, they asked me to start spending the night over there. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
No.
So the eye opener for me, it was an eye opener, but it was a lot of hurt and pain. One day, we were in Buckhead. We were right behind Benihana's because there is this big parking lot behind Benihana's. a lot of celebrities get their exotic cars delivered off of the transfer truck back there because it's just a good, secure, secluded spot.
Right.
So this person hadn't paid me in like 2 weeks, right? So $500, right? So we just ride. It was like, oh yeah, I gotta go pick up something from over there at Benihana's. Girl, when I tell you this good old Rolls Royce had rolled off the back of this transfer truck, and I'm sitting there looking like, but girl, where my $1,000 at? Like, what is the problem? You got a whole Rolls Royce driving off the back of this truck. My rent is due, girl, and you got a whole Rolls Royce, and you owe me $1,000, girl. What kind of shenanigans are you pulling?
Wow.
What are you doing? A Rolls Royce, and you owe me $1,000, girl. That's almost a $500,000 car or more, and you owe me $1,000. You bought a Rolls Royce, but you owe me $1,000. Stop playing with me. Girl, it's crucial. That's with part 2. I'll tell y'all a little more. Whatever Octavia says I can say. Part 2, I'm gonna tell y'all more. I promise.
Okay, great. We're gonna have a part 2. Y'all give Tiffani a hand. You are amazing. We're gonna do a part 2. If you haven't when you come back, we're gonna talk about other things, and I'm gonna make sure if you have any questions, make sure you inbox me or put it in the chat. Where these chats are gonna be gone, but under the reels and stuff that I cut for this, we're gonna keep this going because this was a great conversation. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffani. I loved it, and we are done. Y'all have a good night.
Thank y'all.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.